Hi guys, it's Blackie. Okay, recently whenever I was talking about story time, I brought up my Spiller and Burr kit gun I got from DIXIE Gun Works and how I'm going to be refining this and doing a lot of things in this series. So I wanted to have a little preliminary with you right now and let's talk about it. Now this gun is created by Pieta, and it is being marketed by DIXIE Gun Works as the Spiller and Burr kit. It is in the rough. The grips, as you can see, are big, oversized, need to be shaped. The brass frame has just been cast. They have polished the surfaces that are necessary for the function of the gun, and everything's put together. But you've got to do all the sanding and etc. I didn't want to go and buy the completed gun, which is like $30 more, because I'm going to completely rework this gun. So why take a pretty gun and mess it up, start with this and go like I want, be done with it. So that was my mindset. So let us talk about this for a second, what this gun, what I see needs being done. First off, the action is quite good. Lock solid, no end shake to speak of. You can cock it really slow, you can cock it fast, it locks up absolutely solid. So kudos to Pieta for that. That's put light years ahead from me. But the design is actually this is actually a Whitney revolver, and it's the grandfather, or actually the father I'd say, of the Remington revolvers. So it's slightly different dimensions, but we're going to get to that a little later. Now, the loading lever on it is what you see on the Ruger Old Army today. They're copying this design to make the Ruger Old Army. They just scaled it up and used a Ruger Blackhawk as a frame, but the loading lever is right off of this gun, looks like it. I mean, different dimensions, but you get the idea. Now, when you look on this side of the frame, there's this button. All right, what it is this is a twist tab. On one side, there's a round dot, at least on mine. The other side is smooth. If that round dot is at the top, it's locked. If you rotate it, now that's unlocked. So I put the gun on half cock. I grab and put the loader between two cylinders and I lift up, and up comes the base pin and out comes my base pin set. Now as you can see, there's a cutout right there. Inside the frame, the other half of this is a piece that comes up when it's that way, and it rotates out of the way to let the barrel in. So it rotates up to lock it, rotates down to unlock it. Really well designed idea. Now, they polished a little bit on the inside. It's going to need more. On the hammer, if you look at it right here, there's a spur right there on the top. Now the only thing that does is when you close it, it comes up here and it closes this opening right here. Well, this one's a little too long. It's banging into the frame right there. It doesn't do anything, and in fact, if you look at the originals, this is sheared off. You see it actually cut with a groove because the groove is actually deeper and it blocks the sights. But these replicas, this groove isn't deep enough. We're going to be taking care of that. It will make it shoot horribly high, and it does, about 18 inches what on average. Haven't fired this yet, we're going to do that in a minute, but that's where that comes from. So I'm going to take off that spur right there off the hammer, reprofile that edge a little bit, deepen this notch down to the correct way, flatten it on the back, and do a few other little things to the frame. We'll cover those step by step. Now this front face has been machined off so the barrel can screw in and it's proper tolerance for the base pin. But, and I know you can't see this looking at it, you have to be here. When you look dead at it, the barrel flat is not at 90 degrees. If the front sight should be pointing in this position straight up at 12 o'clock, it's actually pointing off at about 11:30. It's not fully tightened into the frame. It needs another little, about like a 1/16 of an inch or less. I mean, 30 seconds. You know what I mean? It's just a, I'll be taking care of that. When they faced it, it was just probably off just a grunt. We're going to address that. But what we're going to do today is put down a base layer. I'm going to put up a target, I'm just going to load it up cold, and we're going to go up and I'm going to shoot 6 rounds, aim at exactly the same point. We'll see how way off it is and etc. That will give me a baseline so that whenever I do my refinement, we'll see how much improvement I can make out of it. So let me get it put together and we'll start loading. Oh, and one other thing. Sportsman's Guide had these heavy leather replicas of a 1917 Smith & Wesson cavalry holster on sale for like $29 a while back. And I bought this one to fit my Remington Sheriff's model, new model Sheriff's model. The Spiller and Burr fits it perfectly right out of the box. So you can easily carry it. So if you're looking for a holster for this, because it's slightly different dimension, it's actually smaller. All of it is smaller than like a 51 Navy and stuff like that, and the cylinder is actually smaller than a 51 Navy. You're going to need either a custom holster or one that's kind of on the tight side, otherwise this will be rattling loose. This fits it. Just thought I'd pass that on. Now let's get loaded. Okay, so I took, as you can hear I got thunder rolling in the background. I took my Spiller and Burr and I went to fire it. Now when I opened up my loading box and I went to digging in there, I found out that I did not have any round ball with me. The only thing I had was Kato Ojama's 36 caliber hunting bullet. Okay, I'll load that. So I figured out how much space I'd have and etc. And I loaded it up with a wad. It don't hold much. And then I went to load it. And I had a tough time. I got it in there. It didn't want to fit in there, so I kind of had to load it off the gun and tap it down flush and etc. And so I figured I'll just shoot one round. We'll call it good. And so I put up my target down at that range, and I walked up, and at 5 yards I shot. And here is the target. Here was my aiming point. That was my first hit. Correct left to right wind, just a little off, but that's a good 6 or 7 inches off at 5 yards. This is going to be a challenge. I'm going to get her where she shoots point of aim. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to have to deepen that sight notch up there so that it will more correctly line up. We may have to make a taller front sight. We will see. We will go wherever we need to go to make it work. But for right now, it's a start. So now I start tearing this thing apart and we start bringing it back up in the ground level. That will be in the next video. Till next time, guys, thank you for watching my channel, and I appreciate all your comments. If there's anything you'd like to see or like to know, please put it in the comments below and I'll do my best to personally answer you. Till next time, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.